Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another gorgeous day here in Bittinger Stadium here in West Lafayette, Indiana. You're tuned in to WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball here for day two, the quarterfinal round at the Big Ten softball tournament. I'm TJ Fossmeyer. Alongside me yet again, Alex Miller. Michigan, the 8 seed, triumphed over the 9-seeded Wisconsin Badgers in a 3-2 victory off the hands of a complete game performance from Lauren Derkowski in the circle and 2 home runs from Ellie Sealer and Janisa Conway. However, their reward is facing the 1-seeded and 4th nationally ranked Oregon Ducks in their Big Ten tournament debut since moving from the Pac-12 last season. The Ducks swept the Wolverines up in Eugene in early April, but the Wolverines managed to keep those 2 games close. And Michigan still looks for that elusive first win against ranked teams. So, Alex, what have you seen from this Oregon Ducks squad so far as we will shortly get underway?
It's a really good Oregon team. Elise Sokolsky starts in the circle. She's fabulous. They've got another really good option in Lindsey Grine if needed. But, look, Michigan can hang with a team like Oregon. In Eugene earlier this year, Michigan was swept, but 2 of those losses were by only a run. One of those games they were leading 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th, just couldn't hold on. Michigan can beat a team like this, and as you said, 0-12, or they are 0-12 against ranked opponents. And look, this is a really good Ducks team, but Michigan can certainly keep up.
We will get underway here in the top of the first. Michigan, the away squad, donning all white jerseys. Indiana Langford will lead things off. We'll run you through the lineup as we go. First pitch misses outside. Elise Sokolsky pitching for the Oregon Ducks. First pitch outside. Is a 2 ERA, 15-2 record on the season, just her 19th start. The next pitch is fouled back over the Oregon dugout to even it up 1-1. Sokolsky held Michigan to 0 earned runs off 2 hits through 5 innings of work in the comeback win on the Saturday game. Next pitch misses outside to run the count 2-1.
Indiana Langford has been so good at the plate, her discipline, her ability to protect and foul pitches off. Yesterday, 2 for 2 and a sacrifice. Look to keep it going here today.
Sokolsky rocks back and deals. Big whiff from Indiana Langford to even it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Indy Langford gets back into the lefty batter's box. As Sokolsky puts the right foot on the rubber, left foot back. She'll rock back and deal the 2-2. Swung on and fouled back. And we'll do it again next time at a 2-2 count.
Good fight here for Langford. I said it a moment ago, but this is not a bat with a ton of swing and miss. She does a really nice job staying alive, and until she gets a pitch, she's able to slap to the left side of this infield.
The Duck infield not playing terribly aggressive against the speedy slap hitter. The 2-2 on the way. And she is punched out on strikes, caught looking. So the leadoff hitter for Michigan in this one is sat down. Janisa Conway will follow up, 1 down, bases empty in the top of the first.
Close pitch there outside half, and Langford got rung up there by home plate umpire Ron Burkhart.
Janisa Conway was stepped up in a big way in yesterday's game. Hit one out of the park yesterday in the 3-2 victory. First pitch off the hands of Sokolsky. Finds his own first strike. Good job painting the outside part of the plate. Sokolsky, the redshirt junior from Rogers, Arkansas. The 0-1 misses just downstairs to run the count 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 is chopped foul by the on-deck circle. Lauren Putz will toss it over to first baseman Riley McCoy. The Oregon Duck outfield playing deep on the power threat and Janisa Conway. One ball, 2 strikes on the way upstairs to run the count even 2-2.
Janisa Conway has just been so good for Michigan, but in particular as of late, hit .432 in Big Ten play, 7 doubles and 10 homers during that stretch. As you said, TJ, good day yesterday with the homer.
The 2-2 on the way, swung on and missed. Sokolski sees 2, will sit down 2 on strikes. 2 down now for Michigan. The 3-hole hitter, Lauren Puts, the phenomenal freshman, will step in.
Sokolski had Conway fooled there. She was well out in front of an off-speed pitch that ended up low and in the dirt. You don't see Conway swing so foolishly very often. Really good pitch from Sokolski.
Sokolski looking dialed in as she'll get the pitch from the third base dugout. Delivers. That pitch falls the inside part of the plate for a strike. 2 away, base is empty in the top of the first. First 2 for Michigan, sat down on strikes. Lauren Puts at the dish. Sokolski rocks back and deals. That one paints the outside part of the plate this time, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and popped high down the third base line just in front of the Oregon dugout. Third baseman Flannery will make the play herself. That will retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first to keep things 0-0. And Elise Sokolski looks dialed in, painting all parts of the plate to keep the top of this Michigan order neutralized as we move in the flip side of the first.
Really good start from Sokolski. Doesn't get much better than striking out the top 2, getting a weak infield pop-up that barely left home plate. It's a really good start for Sokolski, who for a good chunk of this year was the second fiddle in this Ducks rotation behind Lindsey Grine. Grine struggled a little bit the last 2 weekends in series against Michigan State and Indiana, and now you see Sokolski getting the start in the first round for Oregon in this event, and strong start for her against Michigan.
Certainly indeed, as the Michigan defense will trot back out. No changes from yesterday's game, but we'll run you quickly around the lineup. In the circle, no surprise, Lauren Derkowski after a complete game performance yesterday. Sharing the battery is Lily Valmont. Around the horn, Ramey at first, Indiana Langford at second, Fantucci at short. Maddie Erickson at the hot corner, left to right in the outfield. Ellie Sealer, Janisa Conway, and Ella Stevenson. Michigan donning the all whites, while Oregon donning all green with the yellow socks, yellow accents as well. As we get underway here, the leadoff hitter for the Oregon Ducks, the lefty senior Kai Lushar, hitting .401 on the season. 19 RBIs, speedster as well, 53 of 60 on the base paths as far as stolen base attempts.
Behind the plate, number 20, Lily Valmont. And towing the slab, 18, Lauren Derkowski. Leading off the bottom of the first for Oregon, 22.
Kai Lushar steps in, infield playing in on the speedster. As Derkowski settles into the circle and deals. First pitch, Lushar shows bunt. Can't pull back in time. That first pitch falls in the zone for a strike. Lushar settling towards the back of the lefty batter's box. Infield playing in as well as the outfield. Derkowski deals. Big swing and a miss from Lushar. She'll be quickly down 0-2.
You always want to get the leadoff hitter, but in particular, you want to get Lushar, who, as you said, 53 stolen bases, leads the nation. Don't want her on because she can quickly get into scoring position.
The 0-2 misses outside to run the count 1-2.
Michigan's got her played right. All 4 infielders well in. Janisa Conway, the center fielder, shifted into shallow left. They know where this ball's going if Lushar makes contact.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Derkowski settles into the circle, rocks back and deals. Swung on foul, heads up by Paige Sinicki and the on-deck circle. Nobody harmed over there, and we'll do it again next time at a 1-2 count. Lushar settles back in, left foot on the chalk at the back of the lefty batter's box. Derkowski deals 1-2 again, and that's chopped up the middle. Indiana Langford will make the play. Fired over to first, not in time. So leadoff base runner for the Oregon Ducks. Off the infield single, good play from Indiana Langford off the chop over Derkowski's head. couldn't get the throw in time. Now Paige Sinicki will step in, the righty shortstop.
That's got to look mighty familiar for Indiana Langford, usually on the other side of plays like that, knocking them up the middle to beat it out. Luchar can fly.
First pitch to Sinicki. Luchar thought about going, will retreat back to first. That pitch misses inside for a ball. Sinicki, the senior from Henderson, Nevada, great all-around player, shortstop Gold Glove winner last season. It's 182 consecutive starts at shortstop, make it 183 with this one. Derkowski will deal. That misses again inside to run the count 2-0.
Lily Valamont's been quick out of the crouch to keep an eye on Luchar, who, as we've said, is so potent on the base pads. But in general, this Oregon team is willing to run. They're tied third nationally in stolen bases. They have the most by any high major program this year, most in Oregon program history in a season as well.
The 2-0, Luchar goes for second. The throw in, not in time. Good throw in from Lily Valamont. Tag cannot get applied in time. A runner in scoring position for the Oregon Ducks. Nobody down. The heart of this order still due up for Oregon.
You're not going to get a much better throw from Valamont from the knees, a dot right in front of the bag, and Luchar just beat it there.
Derkowski rocks back and deals the 2-1. She'll show bunt, pop that one up. Valamont will make the play off the pop. One down. Didn't have to shade much behind her. Just put the glove up. The ball fell right in. One down, one on for Oregon. 3-0 hitter Riley McCoy due up. And McCoy having herself a phenomenal season as a freshman. She'll settle in towards the back of the box. Derkowski deals. That finds the outer half of the plate for a strike.
It's quite incredible what McCoy has done as a freshman. 404 batting average, 11 doubles, 17 homers. Has just been dominant.
The 1-0 swung on, grounded to Erickson at the hot corner. Checks to runner at second. Will fire it across the diamond over to first. 2 down.
Very well done there by Maddie Erickson at third. Took a pair of crow hops towards second to keep an eye on Luchar, push her back to the bag, and Erickson knows she's got the arm strength to make a throw after the lay to cut down McCoy, who's not the fastest runner in the world, and now you get the other Luchar sister here with 2 gone.
As you said, Kedri Luchar has her sister on second. Derkowski delivers, gets a piece of that one, foul down the third base line, out of play over the Oregon dugout. 2 away, 1 on second. And Kai Luchar, Kedri Luchar at the dish. In 467, that leads the team, 71 hits. Player of the Year, top 25 finalist. 511 average in the month of March. Followed it up with a 442 in April as that pitch just misses outside to run the count even 1-1.
And Kedri Luchar has had such a breakout year this year. She's hitting 467. Last year only had 6 starts, hit 526. There was a little bit of production prior years. She hit 313 as a part-timer in 2023, but nobody could have seen this kind of campaign coming.
The 1-1 paints the outside part of the plate to run the count 1-2. Kedri Luchar has hit above 333 in all 8 Big Ten series this season. Hit 444 against Michigan in their series in early April. 1 ball, 2 strikes off the hands of Derkowski. Swung on and missed. Lauren Derkowski will retire the side. Will strand 1 in scoring position. Derkowski's first punch out retires the side and keep things at a 0-0 score as we move now into the second.
Really well done there by Derkowski. Got Kedri Luchar with a rise ball up, blew it by her. But this Oregon offense is just so good. I mean, that's a 467 hitter with an over 500 on base percentage. You're striking, or no, over 500 on base percentage there that you're striking out. And especially when you let Kai Luchar get on to open this game, she steals her way to second. You've got nobody on to runner on second, and 2, 3, 4 coming up. To retire those 3 in a row is really impressive for Derkowski and bodes well for this to be a competitive matchup this afternoon.
And this will be a fun one indeed. 4, 5, 6 due up for Michigan. Stevenson, Valamont, and Sealer. Stevenson and Valmont looking to get their first hits in this Big Ten tournament. Sealer made her presence known immediately. Her first at-bat yesterday was out of the park in a hurry to right center field. That gave Michigan a 1-0 lead yesterday against Wisconsin.
Sealer has been really fabulous as of late for Michigan. She entered this event on a hot streak, 10 for 18 in the 7 games preceding this event. Yesterday had the solo shot, as you said, also had a walk. It's been a really good stretch for Ellie Sealer, who has looked similar to and really at the level of the player she was last season for Michigan.
So we'll get underway. Sokolsky's still in the circle for the Ducks. Ella Stevenson will lead things off. Went 0 for 3 yesterday. Had a great game against Minnesota on Saturday. Drove in a run off a 3 for 3 performance. And Stevenson, coming off a unanimous All-Big Ten freshman selection, 78-point jump in average this season, has continued what was a phenomenal end of the season last year. She'll settle in to begin things. Sokolsky will get the sign from Coach Lombardi. Puts the right foot on the rubber, left foot back, rocks back and deals to start things. Ella Stevenson goes first pitch, hacking down the third base line, foul. Good crowd that showed up to Bittinger Stadium. A sizable Oregon contingent given the long travels from Eugene, Oregon to West Lafayette, Indiana. Much shorter trip for Michigan fans, only 4.5 hours from Ann Arbor. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out, base is empty. Stevenson is set in the righty batter's box. She'll go hacking at that one down the third base line. And Flannery could not make the play in time, fired across the diamond. Stevenson will reach on what should be an infield single down the line.
Flannery bobbled that a little bit as she tried to gather it from her glove to her throwing hand and made a strong throw. She knew she would need to try to catch Ella Stevenson, had to cover the ground to get to the foul line to field that, but Stevenson able to beat it out. Runner aboard for Michigan.
Stevenson scratches across her first hit. Valmont shows bunt, puts one down the third base line. Flannery fired over to first. That's in time. Oregon will get the lead runner. Valmont will reach. The sacrifice doesn't work, but Valmont will reach nonetheless. Great throw from Flannery coming down from the hot corner to make the throw in time over to second.
She's got a strong arm over there. I'll tell you what, after those 2 throws, but that's what you don't want if you're Michigan. You have Valmont lay it down, try to play small, push a runner into scoring position for the red-hot Sealer, and it just doesn't work, and you burned it out. Really heads-up throw there from Flannery at third, because that was a good bunt by Valmont.
Yeah. Ellie Sealer will step in. 1 for 2 with a solo shot and a walk. Finds the first pitch in the zone. No balls, 1 strike. 1 down, 1 on in the top of the second. Sokolsky deals. That misses way outside to run the count even. Sealer yesterday, 4th home run on the season. 341 average as well. The 1-1 lays down a bunt, and that will trickle just foul on the third base side.
I think Sealer there was laying a bunt down for a base hit. It surprised me to go back to the sacrifice with 1 out already on the board, and this time Flannery, the third baseman, was playing a little bit deeper. Seen Sealer do that before, just couldn't push it fair.
Sealer will settle back in the lefty batter's box. Sokolsky gets the sign, puts the right foot on the rubber. Valmont stands at first and deals the 1-2. Swung on foul at the backstop. We'll do it again next time at a 1-2. The 1-2 swung on foul yet again down the third base line, out of play.
Fan over there had it go right through his hands and gave a clap in frustration. Couldn't make the play out there, but good battle here from Sealer. Has spoiled a few pitches off, trying to get something she can handle in a 1-2 count.
Sokolsky rots back and deals the 1-2. Misses just outside to run the count 2-2.
The take there from Sealer. Close pitch, down and away. Read it all the way.
Two balls, two strikes. Swung on down the first base line. McCoy will make the play herself. Fired over to second. Not in time. Valmont will advance into scoring position with two down, and Maddie Erickson will step in.
I think that was the right play there for McCoy. Knew she could guarantee an out by stepping on first. If she'd thrown to second, maybe would have gotten Valmont initially, but would have had to wait for a cover of the bag at second from Sinicki. You get one down, two down now after that force.
Maddie Erickson will step in. 1-0 for 3 yesterday. Rockets that one into the right center gap. Lily Valmont will take the turn for home. She will score. An RBI double for Maddie Erickson, and Michigan will take an early 1-0 lead in the top of the second.
There's been one player Michigan has been waiting to heat up all year long. It's Maddie Erickson, and that's the kind of swing you want to see. She goes off and attacks a pitch early in a count. That's what she does. And hits a line drive into the right center field gap, as you said, TJ, and that is a great sign. And how about this start? Michigan by a run.
And why not do it against a hometown school? The Wilsonville, Oregon native makes her presence known quickly. Maddie Ramey will step in with a runner in scoring position. First pitch downstairs in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down, 1 on for Michigan. Tukolski deals. That's in the dirt yet again.
Go for 3 day yesterday for Maddie Ramey. See if she can change the tune for her here in West Lafayette in Game 2 of this event.
A quick battery meeting between Emma Cox and Elise Tukolski.
That's a clutch swing there for Maddie Erickson with 2 outs.
Yeah.
You don't want to strand the runner, and again, you were trying to push that runner up earlier in this inning with the sac bunt that didn't work out. Lead runner was cut down, but Michigan was able to get a runner in scoring position on the ground out from Sealer, and Erickson paid it off with 2 away.
Battery meeting quickly over. Ramey settles back in. The 2-0 swung on to Jones at second. Will fire it over to first to retire the side. Nonetheless, Michigan will tack on yet again for the second straight game here in West Lafayette. A 1-run top of the second to take an early lead as we move to the flip side of the second.
Cleveland Cliffs is proud to support the Big Ten and the student athletes on their quest for a Big Ten title. Winning takes grit, just like producing some of the most advanced steel in the world.
To give you an update on the larger Big Ten tournament landscape, Nebraska took down Penn State in rather easy fashion. It was a day of upsets yesterday. Penn State takes down Iowa. Indiana took down. Who did Indiana take down?
UCLA beat Indiana. Oh, you're talking yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. That's what I'm saying. Indiana took down. Why is this one stunning me? Washington. Indiana took down Washington, and then Purdue upset Northwestern. Penn State took care of, Nebraska took care of business at Penn State in a thrilling fashion. UCLA took down. Yeah. And then UCLA took down Indiana in the game right before us.
It was a good one today between Indiana and UCLA.
Yeah.
Hoosiers tied it up at 4 in the late innings, and the Hoosiers just weren't able to keep down the heart of the really excellent UCLA order, who was able to play to run and walk it off in the bottom of the 7th.
The Hoosier blood in me really wanted Indiana to
Me too.
pull off that one, but unfortunately came up just short of a walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. And then after this game, it'll be the host and 12-seeded Purdue taking on the 4-seeded Ohio State. The winner of this game will take on the winner of that game. And Purdue won a thriller yesterday. Their first Big Ten tournament win since 2019, and they do it at home.
Yeah, that was a really good moment for the Boilermakers. Hosted the event, and not really a very successful program as of late, as you hinted at, but really good win over a strong Northwestern team.
Yeah, really strong team.
Now see if they can pull some magic against a fabulous Ohio State offense that Michigan got a taste of a few weeks ago in Columbus. But Buckeyes pitching staff is not the best in this conference. The bats, they're astounding, but you can score on the Buckeyes if your pitching can show up, and Julia Gossett was fabulous yesterday for Purdue.
Emma Cox will lead things off, the freshman catcher from Colorado. 5-hole hitter. Will lead things off. Lauren Derkowski in the circle deals. First pitch misses just downstairs. Lauren Derkowski has one insurance run to help her a little bit, make her life a little more comfortable in the circle. 1 ball, no strikes. Derkowski rocks back and deals, lofts an off-speed pitch in there to even it up 1-1.
Cox didn't cut on that off-speed, but you could see the weight shift from her back foot to her front foot was clearly out in front of that pitch, was expecting something different there, and Derkowski, that pitch is such an equalizer for her.
The 1-1 swung on and missed by Cox to run the count 1-2.
That one a lot more mustard on it from Derkowski.
Yeah.
Just play with the timing a little bit. Keep Cox off balance. Another fabulous freshman for this Ducks squad.
Derkowski settles back in with the right foot on the rubber, left foot back. And fires the 1-2, swung on, flied out into right field. Stevenson playing that one at the track off the wall, and she'll make the play. After running into the wall yesterday trying to make a play, injuring that right shoulder, doesn't affect her there to make the first out of the inning.
It's a fabulous play there from Ella Stevenson. Had to cover some ground to right center, high pointed the ball at the wall. Don't know if that would have been able to get over, it would have been close, but Stevenson took away an extra base hit there.
Stephanie Maake will step in. The designated player will loft one high into center field. Sealer can't make the play. It falls right in front of her. A little bit of miscommunication between Fantucci at short, Conway and Sealer in center and left. So Maake will reach on a one-out base hit.
That's probably Fantucci's ball, at least closest to the play, though obviously she's got to go back. The outfielders have to come in, but I think she was expecting to get called off by Sealer or Conway, and that ball just kept drifting in and started going toward left field. Wind pushed it toward shallow center, and no one able to get there.
Des Potman will take first pitch hack at the high cheese during the count 0-1.
Patman having a really good year, 300 hitter with some pop, transferred over from New Mexico State. Before that was at North Carolina A&T.
1 ball, no strikes. Derkowski fires to the plate. Another swing and a miss. Half-hearted swing from Patman to run the count even.
And Patman, her uncle, Dwayne, might know him if you're a Michigan fan, played safety for the Wolverines in the late 90s through, I think that was 97 to 2000 or 2001.
Derkowski will deliver. That's upstairs. Count 1-2. Maake on first. Patman at the plate, walks at a really good clip as well. The 1-2 misses inside at the knees to even it up 2-2.
Good off speed there from Derkowski. I think she missed maybe, and as you said, maybe a little low. That's a close pitch, but good leave from Des Patman.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Derkowski set in the circle, rocks back and fires. That is popped to the left side of the infield. Erickson will call everybody off, make the play herself, 2 down. Kaylin Jones will follow up. Maake still on first. Jones hitting .312 on the season.
Another freshman for Oregon. They've got 4 freshmen in this starting lineup. It's a really fabulous class.
She'll poke one down the third baseline foul. It's potent speed, contact combo. Can slap hit as well, showed that off there. Had a .359 average in the month of April. 16 stolen bases on the season as well.
What's most impressive to me in the box score for Kaylin Jones is she's walked more than she's struck out. Really impressive for a freshman, that kind of plate discipline. 23 walks to 21 punchies.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 down, 1 on. Derkowski deals. That misses outside. 1-1. Derkowski gets out of the crouch and deals. Jones gets a piece of that one. Good play from Katie Flannery at the on-deck circle to put a hand into that one off the net. Count now 1-2.
Derkowski has looked pretty in control here. It's been a good start for her.
The 1-2 is poked to Fantucci, who will fire it over to second, gets the lead runner. That will retire the side. And Lauren Derkowski has looked dialed in so far to maintain a 1-0 Michigan lead as we now move into the 3rd inning of work.
1 runner left on base.
9-1-2 due up for Michigan. Fantucci. Then the lineup turns over to Indiana Langford and Janisa Conway.
But a good start here for Derkowski, who obviously started yesterday, went all 7 innings for Michigan. Coming into today, you could have reasonably thought perhaps the Wolverines would go to their number 2 starter, and Erin Hain, but as they did at this event last year, they rolled with Derkowski for the 2nd day in a row. Last year, it was just Derkowski who pitched for Michigan en route to a Big Ten Tournament championship, and that approach wouldn't shock me again. The staff knows who their ace is. They know who their best option is. She's a senior. Ride her while you've got her. And Lauren Derkowski, too. This team played Oregon earlier in the year, had a fine start against the Ducks in Game 1 of that series. Then it was a doubleheader for Games 2 and 3. And Hain got Michigan in a position to win Game 2 of the series, up 4-2. Derkowski came in, inherited a runner on, and wasn't able to put the game away. Got walked off down 4-2. Started the following Game 3 of that doubleheader and got hit pretty hard by the Ducks. But got to have a short-term memory. That series was a couple weeks ago. Derkowski has looked like the pitcher she usually is and is settled right in to start off strong against the Ducks.
Indeed she has. She'll take a bit of a rest as Michigan offense has their work cut out with a 1-run lead. Fantucci will step in. Has started the last 4 games at shortstop in replacement of senior Ella McVeigh. Went 1 for 2 yesterday with an infield single. Has some magic here in the Big Ten quarterfinal. Last time hit a grand slam against Maryland in Iowa City in their route to a tournament title last season. Sokolsky deals first pitch. Fantucci just dabs the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, Fantucci had a solid day yesterday. Just 2 chances at the dish. The only hitter that didn't come to the plate a 3rd time for Michigan, but had a knock and has had a really good glove in there short lately.
The 0-1 upstairs.
And for Fantucci, it's got to be tough that you haven't played a whole lot this season, just a part-timer, and all of a sudden you're being counted on to start at shortstop in some big games and hasn't had a ton of chances to develop a rhythm at the plate this year, but looked pretty comfortable yesterday up there.
The 1-1, again, the outside part of the plate for a strike, 1-2. Fantucci quickly settles back in. Started the season starting at shortstop and down in Tampa, and now will end it. It looks like gets a piece of that one way early, way out of play down the 3rd base line to run the count again, 1-2. Sokolsky will rock back. Fantucci gets a piece of that one. Still a little bit early. Foul into the Oregon Duck bullpen down the 3rd base line.
Out in front, as you said, but good barrel there for Fantucci. Put a good cut on that ball. See if she can time one up a little bit better here, but still has to protect a bit, down 1-2 in the count to Sokolsky.
Fantucci awaits as Sokolsky steps back onto the rubber with the right foot and fires the 1-2, swung on. That finds some grass in the right center gap. Fantucci will take the turn for second. She will slide in safely. A leadoff double for Avery Fantucci. And another year, some more Big Ten quarterfinal magic for Avery Fantucci.
It's a fabulous cut there for Fantucci and a 2-strike count. Battled off a couple of pitches and drove a pitch outside the other way just as you're taught and just barreled that up to right center. And that's the reason she's in the lineup right now. And, you know, this whole weekend I've just felt for Ella McVeigh, who's been a basically 4-year starter for Michigan, finds herself out of the lineup in the biggest games of this season. But Fantucci's in there at the bottom of the order because the juice that her bat can provide, and put a really good swing on that ball, ripped it the other way.
Certainly did. She'll stand in at second in scoring position as the lineup turns over. Indiana Langford will step in, the leadoff hitter. Nobody down, one on in scoring position. Prime opportunity to extend their lead. You have to take these chances anytime you get, especially against a team like this. 4th ranked in the country, receiving first place votes nationally in polls. Certainly on their way to host a region, if not a super region. That pitch is outside as Langford showed bunt pulled back in time.
This is the kind of spot, though, Michigan needs to pay off. Leadoff runner at second. And the top of your order coming up. Got to get a run here.
Sokolski rocks back and fires the 1-0 upstairs. Fantucci darts for third. The throw offline. Flannery lucky to get a glove on that one. Fantucci will advance 60 feet to third. Off the wild pitch. And there will be a brief meeting between the infield and Coach Melissa Lombardi.
But boy, Emma Cox, the catcher, got a really good bounce off the concrete backstop here. It came right back to her. She had a chance to get Fantucci at third. Throw was just high and pulled to the second base side. And now this is somewhat an interesting spot here for Michigan. You've got Fantucci at third. Langford had been squaring around. Now you've kind of got to swing it unless she's bunting for a base hit and you hold Fantucci at third. Squeeze would be tough, but I imagine Langford's going to be asked to swing it here. But then after her, with nobody gone, you've got Conway and Putz, your premier fly ball hitters, and a deep sack fly is all you need now to score Fantucci.
Meeting over, 2 balls, no strikes to Indiana Langford, who will choke up and does not swing. The bat doesn't leave her shoulder. That pitch way outside to run the count 3-0.
I think Sokolski still attacks her here. You don't want to walk Indiana Langford, especially with who protects her behind her and Conway and Putz.
Infield playing in on the speedy slap hitter. Sokolski deals. That pitch finds the outside part of the plate to run the count 3-1.
And if I'm Indy Langford, I'm expecting another pitch right down the heart of the plate here. Sokolski does not want to walk you. Oregon doesn't want her speed on, and again, would rather see what Langford can barrel up than the hitters behind her.
3-1. Finds the outside part of the plate yet again to run the count full, 3-2.
That's not a pitch Indy Langford's going to do a ton of damage on. Up in the zone and away. But now got to protect here, 3-2, and she's mighty good at that.
Sokolski steps back onto the rubber. 3 balls, 2 strikes. She will fire to the plate, gets a piece of that one into the Oregon Duck dugout down the third base line. Foul, and we'll do it again at a full count next time. Three balls, 2 strikes. Langford at the plate. Sokolski fires, and that is chopped to short. And Sinicki can't fire it over to first in time. Now runners at the corners. Indiana Langford will reach on an infield single. Sinicki could not make the play as that was just above her head off the high chopper. Runners at the corners. Huge spot for Michigan with Janisa Conway stepping in.
That somewhat reminds me of the play Flannery had an inning ago to try to cut down Stevenson from third, where Sinicki there just bobbled it as she tried to get it to her throwing hand quickly because she knew Langford is just so fast down the line, and Indy Langford beats it out. Big chance here for Michigan.
Infield still playing in. Janisa Conway steps in. That first pitch misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Conway struck out in her first plate appearance. In a big spot, nobody down, 2 on. Runners at the corners. Fantucci at third, Langford at first. Sokolski deals. So Conway gets a piece of that one. That finds some grass in the right field. That will score Fantucci from third. Now runners at first and second. Conway drives in a run to extend Michigan's lead 2-0.
Number 2, designated player Lauren Derkowski.
So now with 2 on, nobody out again. Lauren Putz, the phenomenal freshman, will step in.
Good swing by Conway. Got a pitch he could handle. Just pulled a single into right field. Still nobody gone. 2 on for Putz. This could be a big inning for Michigan. Already up 2-0 early. This is as good of a start as you could hope for, reasonably, for the underdog Michigan Wolverines. This has been a really good start, and they've looked comfortable at the dish against Sokolski here.
And it looks like the Oregon Ducks will go with a pitching change, and they will, and it is for their workhorse, Lindsey Grine, who's having herself a phenomenal season. So she'll be tasked in place of Elise Sokolski to get the Oregon Ducks out of this jam and limit the bleeding here in the top of the third. And Grine has a 1.82 ERA, 26-2 record on the season, 189 strikeouts with 56 walks. The transfer from Virginia Tech has had a phenomenal first season with the Ducks.
She's been really incredible, but the one thing I will mention on a downside for Grine is the last 2 weekend series have not been super kind to her. Last week against Michigan State, she appeared in 2 games in that series, total of 3.3 1/3 of work, and gave up 7 earned runs in just the 3 1/3. And the prior weekend against Indiana, she pitched in all 3 games, only made it through 8 2/3, gave up 9 earned runs in that stretch. Her ERA looks nice at the 1.82. Before those 2 weekends, it was a 1.15. So it's been a bit of a struggle for Grine the last couple weekends. We'll try to bounce back here against Michigan, and comes in here in an early tough spot with 2 runners on and nobody gone.
Tough spot indeed. Lauren Putz will look to extend Michigan's 2-run lead here. 2 consecutive games. This looks all too familiar from the first game. Michigan tacks on 1 run in both the second and the third. They'll have to face Lindsey Grine, though, in the circle now for the Ducks. Conway at first, Langford at second. Grine rocks back and deals to Putz. First pitch finds the outside part of the plate for a strike.
The one thing for Grine is over Sokolski here in this spot is she's more of a strikeout pitcher. 189 strikeouts, as you said before, and 146 1/3 of work, so more than a strikeout an inning for her.
Putz will get a piece of that one foul over the backstop, over the press box itself, to run the count 0-2.
When you want to strand runners here, you don't want the ball in play, and Grine's the kind of pitcher that can strike out middle-of-the-order hitters like Lauren Putz.
Grine gets the sign from the dugout. She'll take some time, step off the rubber. No balls, 2 strikes to Lauren Putz, the freshman. Grine, the junior, rocks back and deals. That misses. Cox will check Indiana Langford at second. Ball gets away from Jones. Langford will stand in at second. Doesn't even think about turning for third. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second.
Closer than I thought it would be. Great throw down there from behind the dish from Emma Cox. Langford got back pretty quickly, and they almost nabbed her. It's second.
The 1-2 pitch fired. Putz will swing at that one downstairs. Good off-speed action from Lindsey Grine. 1 away.
Filthy pitch there from Grine. Just pulled the string, dropped out of the zone, and Putz swung right over.
Ella Stevenson will step in, singled in the second. 1 away, 2 on for Michigan still in the top of the third. Prime scoring opportunity. Got to take these when you can. Grine, first pitch in the dirt. Good corral by Cox behind the dish to keep the runners at bay. 1-0, Swan-on foul at the backstop to even it up 1-1. One ball, one strike, one away for Michigan. Grind deals. That pitch misses inside. Two-one, Grind delivers. Stevenson gets a piece of that one. Fouled off the backstop to run the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Lindsey Grind's done a nice job since coming in, attacking the strike zone. She's not afraid of a really good hitter like Ella Stevenson with 2 runners on. Pounded the zone with a variety of pitches.
Grind rocks back and delivers the 2-2. Lofts the off-speed in there. Finds his own first strike. Stevenson punched out looking completely frozen. 2 away for Michigan with 2 on.
Grind has done what she was asked to do. Come in with 2 runners on, nobody aboard, and I said, this is your strikeout arm, and struck out 3 and 4 in the Michigan order. No easy feat. It's a big plate appearance here for Lily Valamont.
Certainly is. Grounded into a 5-6 fielder's choice in the second, as Langford standing at second, Conway at first. Grind rocks back and delivers. Begin to work for Valamont, who will get a piece of that one. Sinicki will make the play. Can't make the play at any base as she dives to her right. Now bases juiced for Michigan. Ellie Sealer will step in. Again, hit the home run in the first game against Wisconsin yesterday. Prime opportunity with 2 away, bases loaded. And Ellie Sealer, who has had a hot bat, as you said, Alex, earlier in the broadcast.
It's a nice play by Sinicki, diving back to the third base side, but was never going to get anybody. Valamont attacked to first pitch, hit it hard. Good things tend to happen when you do that. Here, see what Sealer, who's been hot, can do here.
Grind rocks back and delivers. Begins work against Sealer. She'll go first pitch, hacking, fouled at the backstop. Count 0-1.
Sealer a little bit behind that pitch. Ended up underneath it.
Sealer settles back in as Grind delivers the 0-1. And that is just Swan bunt. Flannery will fire it over across the diamond to retire the side on a half-hearted swing. Michigan will strand the bases juiced. Nonetheless, Michigan extends what was a 1-0 lead at the beginning of the third to make it a 2-0 lead.
There's a world where that's an inning Michigan looks back on later in this game and thinks, geez, we really could have gotten a little bit more there with 2 on, nobody gone. But credit to Lindsey Grind, who came in and did exactly what she needed to do, struck out 3 and 4 and puts in Stevenson. And even after the infield single, loaded the bases, was able to take care of Ellie Sealer. That was a really impressive job out of the bullpen for Grind, who knows, could go the rest of the way in a game like this.
Absolutely, we'll see. So Michigan strands with a total of 4 runners on base. Nonetheless, command a 2-0 lead. Derkowski will take the circle yet again for the Wolverines as a padded insurance in the circle.
But still, that's a successful inning there for Michigan. You got that early run, and Vantucci with the double, advancing the wild pitch, and Conway eventually the one to knock her in. And it's still a positive sign to see that you're finding runners on base. You couldn't pay them all off in the second, but 6 hits in 3 frames is a welcome sign for this Michigan offense.
Certainly, and you'll take anything you can get against this 4th nationally ranked team. We'll get underway. 9-1-2 due up for the Ducks.
I mean, Oregon's 47-6. Like, it's just incredible the season they've had.
It's absurd.
47-6. So, and again, for Michigan, 0-12 against the top 25, including 3 L's to Oregon. You want to prove what you already know in your hearts, but prove to the nation and put it into the books that you can beat a team of this caliber. Good spot here, chance to do it. in the biggest game of this season in the Big Ten tournament, win or go home.
A lot on the line here in West Lafayette. Katie Flannery will lead things off here in the bottom of the third. The 9-hole hitter. That pitch downstairs. She checked her swing, did break the plane, says first base umpire Mike Hernandez.
Not so sure she went around.
I didn't think so.
Good pitch there from Derkowski, drop ball that garnered that check swing.
No balls, 1 strike to Flannery. Derkowski is set and delivers. Next pitch misses to run the count 1-1.
Post pitch from Derkowski, maybe just a little bit inside there.
Flannery comes in with a 283 average. Next pitch misses outside and just 2 balls, 1 strike.
And it's not very surprising when you think of a team with a 47-6 record, but there's no easy outs in this Ducks lineup. Flannery at 283, 9 homers this season, can hit the ball hard.
Derkowski rocks back and delivers. The 2-1 misses inside to run the count 3-1.
Couple good takes here for Flannery. 2 on the inside and the 1 in between just on the outside. Has taken some close pitches to work a 3-ball count. Derkowski
plants the right foot on the rubber. 3 balls, 1 strike. She will deliver. That misses upstairs, ball 4. Flannery will take the free pass over to first. The leadoff base runner for the Ducks here in the bottom of the third. The lineup will turn over. Kai Lushar will step in.
Not an ideal hitter to walk there in the 9-hitter before this lineup turns over, and especially to begin an inning. But now if you're Lauren Derkowski, you got to bounce back here and try to get Lushar, who had an infield single her first time up, such a speed threat, just finds ways to get on base.
Flannery will see the bench for a pinch runner, Reagan Legg. Primary pinch running option for this Ducks squad. Perfect 4 for 4 on stolen bases.
Please, now running at first base for Oregon, number 17, Reagan Legg. Legg running for the Ducks at first. And the batter, left fielder, 22, Kai
Legg has
Lushar.
some legs that can move, as you might have assumed. Good pun from Alex. Thank you. Be here all week.
Derkowski delivers to Lushar. That pitch misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Derkowski checks the wristband, puts the right foot on the rubber. Leg on first. Kai Lushar at the plate. Derkowski deals. That finds his zone, even it up, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Derkowski is set. Rocks back and deals. And will swing that foul. Lushar gets a piece of that one to run the count 1-2.
Matt Erickson backed up a little bit now with the 2-strike count on her. You don't expect the bunt to be laid down anymore from Lushar.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Derkowski delivers up the middle. Fantucci will make the force at second. Gets the lead runner in Legg. 1 down.
Well done there by Avery Fantucci. Legg hesitated a little bit. Had taken a jump off first, then slowed down. I think there was a chance that Lauren Derkowski in the circle might make a leaping grab, or that Fantucci could charge in, but made it a more routine play for Fantucci to get to the second base bag before Legg could.
Paige Sinicki will step in with Kai Lushar on first. She will dart for second, pulls back. That pitch misses upstairs for a ball. And Lushar 53 for 60 on stolen base attempts. The 1-0. Finds his zone, even it up, 1-1.
And again, you've got to keep an eye on Kai Lushar over there at first. Nation leader with 55 stolen bases now. Oregon program single season record.
1 ball, 1 strike. Off speed, lofted in there, just upstairs. Lauren Derkowski smiling at that one. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Valamont held her glove there for a long time. Wanted the call from Ron Burkhart. Didn't get it. So it's been maybe a little bit tight early in this one, but Derkowski will have to adjust to it here.
2-1, goes back to the off speed to even it up 2-2.
Good bounce back there from Derkowski. Went right back to the well.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Derkowski delivers, pops that one out of play into the netting as that'll trickle back onto the field of play. Valmont gloves that one, and we'll do it again at a 2-2 count.
Paige Sinicki has just been so steady. 4-year starter at shortstop for Oregon.
As Bonnie Thole will trot out of the first base dugout to discuss something with both Ron Burkhart and Mike Hernandez, home plate umpire and first base umpire respectively. Not sure what it is just yet. Like brief chat is over. They'll both go back to their respective positions.
The only thing I could think of was Luchar potentially leaving early,
Maybe.
but the ball wasn't put in play. It was fouled back, but it's the only thing I can think of there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Derkowski set in the circle quickly, will fire, and that gets a piece of Sinicki. She'll take the free pass. So 2 on with 1 down for the Ducks in this bottom of the 3rd.
Bit of an unfortunate miss inside there from Derkowski. You never want to hit a batter, but when you've got a 2-strike count on a really good hitter in Sinicki, you want to take advantage, but Derkowski let her off the hook a little bit there.
And Bonnie Thole will trot out for a meeting between the battery and the infield right in the circle. Kai Luchar will stand in at second, Paige Sinicki at first. Riley McCoy will take her second cuts at Lauren Derkowski, grounded to Erickson at third in the first inning. This bat in Riley McCoy has some pop. 17 home runs, 52 RBIs, and a 4.04 average. To cap what is a really good freshman season.
I was just going to say, this is a tough spot here, and I think it's a smart one for Bonnie Thole to have a visit, make sure her infield is ready, make sure Derkowski's settled in here, because 3-hitter coming to the dish, 2 runners with great speed on for Oregon in particular, and Luchar at second. Just make sure you know where you're going with the softball when you get it.
Riley McCoy will step in. First among freshmen in slugging percentage in the entire country. First pitch misses upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Derkowski settles in and fires. That finds the zone. Great comeback pitch for Lauren Derkowski to even it up.
That off-speed pitch has really worked well for Derkowski today, has kept the Ducks off balance. We haven't really even seen a cut on that pitch yet, I don't think.
The 1-1 on the way. Big swing and a miss at the high cheese to run the count 1-2.
Good rides there from Derkowski, and played it off the prior off-speed pitch before to change up, and McCoy well behind the rise that time.
Derkowski gets the sign from Coach Brundage in the first base dugout, settles into the rubber on a 1-2 count. She exhales in, deals, swung on weakly into center field. Conway shading to her left, makes a glove, will fire it over to third as Luchar will tag up. Now runners at the corners now with 2 down for the Ducks.
Nice play by Conway there. Had to cover a fair bit of ground into the right center field alley and able to get there. And smart play by Avery Fantucci at shortstop, who cut that throw off but on its way to third base. just to make sure that the runner at first and Sinicki couldn't move up to second behind the play because Conway was never getting Luchar at third.
Kedri Luchar struck out in the first, has runners at the corners, 2 down. Still in the bottom of the third. Derkowski will deliver, begin things here as that pitch is upstairs. Sinicki will advance to second. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Ducks.
Yeah, Valamont's never going to throw that down a second with Luchar at third. Kai Luchar at third, Kedri Luchar at the dish, to be clear.
The 1-0 downstairs. Count now 2-0.
If you're Derkowski now 2-0, I don't know if you want to give in with something too good here. You've got an open base. You'd probably rather see Emma Cox than something really good down the middle here to Luchar.
2 balls, no strikes, 2 down, 2 on. Derkowski will deliver upstairs to run the count 3-0.
I'd say the same probably applies here. It's something you don't want to do, but maybe you have to eat this one if you're Derkowski and you're down 3-0 to a hitter like this with 2 in scoring position and 2 gone.
Derkowski settles into the rubber. The 3-0 on the way. That finds his own to run the count 3-1.
Luchar seemed pretty comfortable taking that pitch. See if she has a green light here.
3 balls, 1 strike. Swung on and missed to run the count full 3-2. Way out in front of the breaking ball. Lauren Derkowski pulled the string. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on for the Ducks in the bottom of the third. Kedri Luchar steps back in a huge spot. Derkowski will deliver. She'll connect. Pop that one weakly to Fantucci. Calls everybody off to retire the side. So Oregon will strand 2. And Lauren Derkowski looks sound in the circle to keep things at a Michigan lead, 2-0 as we move now into the 4th.
Softball fans traveling to see your favorite college team and graduate by Hilton.
Job well done there by Lauren Derkowski. Look, I was up here saying, maybe you don't want to attack Luchar here down 3-0, and instead that's what Derkowski did. Got it 3-2 and was able to generate a weak pop-up. The shortstop Fantucci strand 2 runners at second and third. It's been a really impressive vintage Lauren Derkowski.
Yeah, certainly. She's got some magic here. Pitched all 19 innings last year at the Big Ten Tournament in Iowa City. 3-0 record, 1.84 ERA, 20 punch-outs while at it. As we say hello to the broadcast cam. Little bush leak here off Alex's computer here. Nonetheless, still got to get it. So we have the Michigan Daily in the background.
Wrong hand. It's mirrored. But, yeah, pleasure.
I know. Happy to be here in an excellent game. The 1-seeded Oregon Ducks, 4th nationally, face Michigan as there's a lot on the line. There's a lot more to play for on Michigan's end. You know, they have a questionable status to get into the NCAA postseason. You know, in a win here to get that elusive first win against ranked opponents. And, you know, who else would you want to get that first win other than the Oregon Ducks? They have a lot more to play for with Oregon, with their spot all pretty much secured beyond this tournament.
I'm not sure if a win here today decides anything for Michigan.
Yeah.
Maybe they're already in. Maybe they're
It
out
helps.
regardless of a win. But it certainly helps that case. And you beat Oregon and you're on to the semifinal round of this event. Anything can happen. So.
Certainly, the winner of this one will take on the winner of Purdue, Ohio State in the game that follows us as we say goodbye to the broadcast cam. Won't be the last, I'm sure of it. We'll get underway. Maddie Erickson will lead things off here in the top of the 4th. Double drove in the first run of the game. She'll go first pitch, hacking, foul out of play.
That's what Erickson does. She swings first pitch and thought maybe there was one she could handle there. You know, she didn't end up hitting it super hard there.
Joy first pitch, hacking her last at bat was successful. Couldn't repeat that this time around. Grind delivers the 0-1. That finds the inside part of the plate to run the count 0-2. Erickson quickly down.
Erickson doesn't work a ton of long counts, just 6 walks this year. She'll be an aggressive hitter in an 0-2 count.
No balls, 2 strikes. Lindsey Grind will deliver. That's way upstairs. To run the count 1-2.
Take there on a rise up and in from Erickson.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Grind delivers. Erickson swings and misses on the off speed, way out in front. 1 down for Michigan.
Lindsey Grind has looked very convincing since coming in. Was able to strand some runners last inning, pair of strikeouts mixed in, and strong start here to the 4th with a strikeout of Erickson.
Maddie Ramey will step in, grounded to Kaylin Jones, excuse me. First swing and miss by Maddie Ramey to run the count 0-1. Three punch outs for Lindsey Grind here so far. That pitch upstairs does find the upper half of the plate to run the count 0-2.
Ramey without a hit so far in this event. 0 for 3 yesterday, grounded out her first time up today. Tough goings now, 0-2 against a pitcher like Grind.
Grind rocks back and deals the 0-2, misses outside. Count now 1-2. Grind checks the wristband. Gets the sign from the third base dugout. And fires the 1-2. Swung on and missed by Maddie Ramey. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Both of them sat down on strikes. Lindsey Grind's 4th punch out of the bullpen here. The 9-hole hitter Avery Fantucci will follow up. Bases empty, 2 down.
4th strikeout when she's faced 6 hitters.
Yeah. First pitch misses just inside and upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
See what Fantucci can do here. At a nice double out of a 2-strike count off of Sokolsky her first time up.
The 1-0 right over the heart of the plate to run the count even 1-1. Ball, 1 strike. Grind delivers, misses just inside, only just to run the count 2-1.
Great take from Fantucci. It's looked great up there at the dish. Really has looked very comfortable for a player that has just not been a regular part of this lineup much this season.
Fantucci settles back into the righty batter's box. Grind delivers the 2-1. Count now even 2-2. Good inside stuff from Lindsey Grind.
Start number 19 for Fantucci. And a lot of those were early in the season or midweek games. It's big-time action right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Big swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down for Michigan. All sat down on strikes off the hand of Lindsey Grind to keep things for Oregon. A 2-run deficit. Now we move to the flip side of the 4th, and that also comes with a changeover in the play-by-play broadcaster. I'll hand that over to Alex.
Uh-oh.
Just like the first game, if you're ready.
I'll do it.
All right, I guess.
Just to be clear, TJ had the second half of this game if he wanted it, but
it's fine. That was a good.
It was great
first half of this
ball game. And I'll tell you what, Lindsey Grind looks phenomenal.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, leads the nation in wins, top 25 in ERA, strikeouts, whip. I mean, she's USA Softball Player of the Year finalist for a reason. She's showing it. 3 up, 3 down, all sat down on strikes at a phenomenally efficient rate.
But on the other side for Michigan, this has been a very strong first 3 innings of work from Lauren Derkowski. 2-0 Michigan as we approach the bottom of the 4th here in West Lafayette.
And Lauren Derkowski always seems to pull something out of the bag for these Big Ten tournaments. See if she can continue that. excellent work so far shutting down this Oregon lineup through 3.
Derkowski here will see 5, 6, and 7. Emma Cox, Stephanie Maake, Des Patman. Cox will lead things off. Backstop flew out deep to right center to Ella Stevenson, her first time up.
And for Cox, this is her first cuts against this Michigan lineup. Did not play throughout that entire series, but has been hot of late. Their last trip to Indiana, Cox had a .444 average, 7 RBIs against the Indiana Hoosiers. And some good luck in this state. Looks to continue that here with the Ducks down 2.
Connie Thole had an interview on the TV. That was the brief pause, but we'll get back to things here. 2-0 Michigan, bottom of the 4th, 5, 6, and 7. Starts with Emma Cox for Oregon. 2 hits so far today for the Ducks. Cox will dig in the right-handed batter's box. Derkowski's right foot is on the third base side of the rubber, and she deals ball 1 up and away. Infield, outfield, straight up and deep for Michigan against Cox. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Derkowski. Misses away.
Just missed. Great location. Even better take from Emma Cox at the plate. Was not tempted at all.
2-0 count to Cox. Derkowski rocks back and hurls. This pitch is popped up, foul, out of play behind home plate. 2-1 now on Cox. Emma Cox, the freshman. Played her club ball for the Corona Angels. Produced a bunch of her teammates. Paige Sinicki, Ayana Shaw, Taylor Spencer, and her classmate Stephanie Maake, who's waiting on deck. And this ball is pulled through the left side of the infield. Split Fantucci and Erickson for a base hit into left field to start things off here in the bottom of the 4th for Oregon.
Great job connecting on that from Cox. Just finding the gap, barreling that one up right in the left field. Tad early, but found the right place nonetheless. Another leadoff base runner for the Ducks, and it's up to Lauren Derkowski. Has looked really good in shutting down these leadoff base runners and stranding what has been so far 4 left on base for the Ducks to keep things at a 2-0 score here.
Pinch runner will come on for the Ducks, and a pitching change for Michigan. Pinch runner for the Ducks wears 25. That's Presley Lawton. Show run for Cox. But Michigan here turns the ball over to Erin Hain here in the bottom of the 4th. Michigan by a score of 2-0 right now.
I certainly didn't expect that in this spot. You know, Erin Hain did really well in Eugene against Oregon. But I didn't expect that, you know, with Derkowski and what she's been doing throughout this whole tournament, which we did yesterday. I would think you ride her this season with the season on the line here in West Lafayette, your title defense hopes as well. I thought you would ride the senior Lauren Derkowski, but nonetheless, Erin Hain steps in a huge spot with 2 runs of insurance, but nonetheless, this Oregon lineup is dangerous and can spark at any moment.
And you and I talked about this prior to today's game, speculating about this pitching setup for Michigan today. We both thought it'd be Derkowski, but I did say that at times this year, Hain has come in for Derkowski. That's not something you really ever saw last year in a big moment.
Right.
Hain's had those this year, but in a game like this, I really thought, especially with the way that she has thrown, this would
certainly
be Derkowski, but
certainly
Erin Hain has had a strong year for Michigan. ERA sits 3 cents above a 3-point. And 117 innings and 2/3 of work, more than last year when she finished at 99 and 2/3, postseason included. So Hain will enter this ball game. Michigan leads 2-0, bottom of the 4th inning. Runner on first is a pinch runner Lawton, and Stephanie Maake digs in, who had a bloop single to center her first time up. First pitch to her is line to first. Ramey snags it, dives to the bag, and beats Lawton there. Line out, step on first, double play for Michigan. 2 gone. 1 pitch, 2 outs as Hain enters.
And what a fortunate break for this Wolverines squad. Was kind of burned on a double play yesterday that it looked like it could have swung the game in Wisconsin's favor, but it didn't, fortunately for them. And it's evened out here in a huge spot with 1 on, and immediately 2 down makes Aaron Hain's life all the more comfortable in the circle.
First pitch to Des Patman is strike 1 on the inside half for Aaron Hain, who goes back behind the rubber, picks up her usually massive rosin bag, now settles back in and deals an 0-1. That is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Patman, who popped up in the infield to Erickson her first time up. Two gone, bases empty, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch from Hain, and she just misses. Tried to paint the outside bottom rail corner. Didn't get the bark from home plate umpire Ron Burkhart. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That just missed. Good take from Patman.
Here's the 2-1, and it is scratched back off the netting behind home plate. 2-2 now to Des Patman. Patman, the grad transfer from New Mexico State, digs into the right-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 gone. 2-0 Michigan here in the bottom of the 4th. Hain deals the 2-2. It is Sky deep to left field. Sealer heads to the warning track. So does Conway, and she runs it down in the alley just in front of the wall in left center. Janisa Conway takes control of a deep fly ball. Aaron Hain does the job out of the pen. 2-0 Michigan. We head to the 5th. And a big sigh of relief and exhale for Michigan fans all over.
An exhale for us in the broadcast booth. Boy, I thought initially that was way out of here, but wind has significantly picked up from at least compared to yesterday's day of play, and that was barely out. And fortunate enough for Michigan's defense, Conway had a charge on that one, avoided the collision as well. And geez, huge break. And as we go again to the broadcast cam.
Figured why not. Good time for it. 2-0 Michigan, top of the 5th. Alex Miller, the main man TJ Fossmeyer. Pleasure to be with you as always here on WCBN Sports. Thanks for joining us.
And boy, what a pair of 2 great defensive breaks. That double play, Ramey playing the corner on the left, or on the first base side to force a double play, and then boy, Oregon about 2 feet shy of a home run, and this is a completely different game. Conway comes up, and close game. Michigan still in command as we move to the 5th.
Unfortunately, that's not the correct song.
Still the same song they did earlier. No, I still
Somebody
have
missed it this time.
I still have it.
Somebody missed it.
It has the song title in the lyric excerpt. Come on, they're giving it away.
And yet, for the first time,
no, they didn't get it yesterday when it said "Since You've Been Gone."
Did somebody miss it yesterday?
Somebody missed it yesterday.
It
has "Since You've Been Gone" as the last 4 words.
Yesterday.
That's the title. Come on, that's way too easy.
Well, anyways, song choice regardless. We'll get back to softball here, top of the 5th inning. Say goodbye to the broadcast cam. We'll be back at some point. Everyone wants to see our shining faces in this one, but 2-0 Michigan, top of the 5th inning coming up. Quarterfinal round here in West Lafayette. The number 1 seed Oregon, the number 8 seed Michigan, and it's the top of the Wolverine order. They will dig in for Michigan. Emma Cox, who was pinch run for, returns to catch. Top of the order from Michigan against Grind. Lindsey Grind struck out 3 in a row last inning. First pitch to Langford is a strike. A bit of a half swing from Indy Langford, called strike either way. Infield in on Langford, in particular the corners, really in particular. Katie Flannery at 3rd. Grind rocks back on her heel, deals the 0-1. Langford showed bunt, popped it back, took the pitch for a ball, 1-1. Strikeout looking, and a single in the infield for Langford. This is her first at-bat against Lindsey Grind. Here's the 1-1. It is a called strike, outside edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Indiana Langford. Has an orange ribbon in her hair this afternoon. I guess we're really in the evening now. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Langford. Did she go? No, she pulled it back on a pitch up and away, says third base umpire Christina Drum. It's 2-2 on Langford. Grind set, right foot, third base side of the rubber. Rocks back, whirls a 2-2. Langford once again pulled back on a similar pitch and took it for ball 3. The count is full.
Great eye for Indiana Langford. Great location from Grind to just paint, or at least try to paint that outside part of the plate.
Grind, 3-2 pitch, and it is ball 4. Indy Langford flexes down the line toward her Michigan dugout, spikes her bat, and is aboard at first. She worked a walk after falling behind to Grind.
Great, she was down 0-2, works herself into a full count, forced the walk, and now you have a speedster on the base paths. 15 stolen bases on 18 attempts, and the big bat, Janisa Conway, to follow.
Corner infield pinched in on Conway if Michigan wants to go to the sacrifice bunt. Grind, first pitch to Conway is well up. Rise ball at around head high to Conway, and Emma Cox requests time and heads out to the circle to talk to her battery mate, Lindsey Grind. If you're Bonnie Thole here, do you ask Janisa Conway to lay down a sacrifice?
Nah, you swing away. With how hot Janisa Conway's bat has been, with runners in scoring position, you're hitting at a 383 clip. You swing away.
Duck infield maybe a little bit back from where they were before. Still about at the corners. 3 strides in front of the first and third base bags. 1-0 count on Conway. Langford at first. Here's the pitch. It's an off speed that finds the outside half. A strike to Conway. Make it 1-1.
Great location. Down and away. Just nabs the outside part of the plate.
2-0 Michigan, top of the 5th. Wolverines look for more. Here's the 1-1. Conway cuts and pops this up in the infield. Waving and calling for it is Riley McCoy. The first baseman hauls it in. Next to the circle, and is one gone here as Lauren Putz comes up.
I still like the decision to have Conway swing away. Just got under that one. Kind of unfortunate, kind of the worst thing you want in that situation. But nonetheless, you still have another threat in Putz.
First pitch to Putz is just outside. Lauren Putz, last time up, struck out against Grind. It was the first hitter that Grind saw out of the bullpen. First time up for Putz was a pop-up in the infield. Indiana Langford at first for Michigan, 2-0, and 1 away here in the top of the 5th. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Putz swings and misses at a pitch inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield, outfield, straight up for the Ducks. 3 infielders deep. Flannery at third, just in front of the base paths. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Putz cuts and lines this down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Langford will slide into second and stop there. Lauren Putz, a base hit. 2 on with 1 out for Michigan and Ella Stevenson.
And Indiana Langford, Bonnie Thole, the third base coaching box, signaled for Indiana Langford to turn for third, slid in instead. And Bonnie Thole has been all season long, been very aggressive in sending runners home or sending runners from second to third. Nonetheless, Indiana Langford will stay in that second in scoring position, still 1 down.
2-0 Michigan here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 away and 2 runners aboard. Langford at second, Putz at first for Ella Stevenson. Grind rocks and deals and misses up above the zone at the letters. 1-0 to Stevenson. Cleanup hitter Stevenson today, a single in the second in the infield, struck out looking at the hands of Grind in the third. 2 runners on for her. Grind delivers a 1-0 and pumps it in the zone for a strike. 1-1 down the heart of the plate. Stevenson digs back into the right-handed batter's box. Cocks her hands above her shoulders and awaits a 1-1 pitch. Here comes Lindsey Grind, a swing and a miss, and a pitch inside to the hands. 1-2 on Stevenson. And a visit here comes on the Oregon side.
And Grind still in a jam, still looks efficient nonetheless. Locating her pitch as well as prompting Michigan to swing away, and that they have. Still one down. Huge opportunity. Again, you have to take these opportunities when they come. As efficient as Lindsey Grine has looked so far since coming out of the bullpen in relief for the Ducks. Down 2. You need to take these chances to extend the lead and make a potential comeback for this potent Duck lineup harder as time is ticking here in the 5th.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Stevenson. Grine leans back and hurls home, misses well upstairs. Cox out of the crouch to grab the rise ball. 2-2 on Stevenson. 2 runners aboard, 1 out. 2-0 Michigan here in the top of the 5th inning. Wolverines look to add on. Grine twirls to the dish. Stevenson cuts on a changeup and pulls it foul on the ground toward the Ducks dugout.
Great job just getting a piece of that one. Grine has had a great ability of pulling the string with the changeup, and Stevenson just getting the piece to stay alive here in a prime opportunity.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on. With 1 down, top of the 5th. Ellis Stevenson awaits. Grine deals the 2-2. Stevenson drives it high and well foul. Third base side once more. Stevenson will dig back in. Still 2-2. Grine leans back on her left heel and deals. Stevenson hits a shot up the middle on the ground. Langford gets the wave from Thole around third. Throw to the plate is cut off. Ellis Stevenson a smash up the middle and an RBI as Langford comes around to score. It's 3-0 Michigan here in the top of the 5th inning against the number 4 team in the country.
Just an excellent piece of hitting from the cleanup hitter, Ellis Stevenson, to shoot that ball right back where it came from, and just enough to score Indiana Langford. With the speed that she has at second, makes that play really comfortable. And again, you need to take these opportunities when Michigan has them. And Michigan so far, at least in this top of the 5th, are taking advantage so far.
How about for Stevenson there in a 2-strike count,
Yeah.
able to knock that ball right up the middle. 3-0 Michigan, and Lily Valamon up with runners on at first and second once more for Michigan. Still 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Grine deals home, an off-speed pitch, misses below the knees, 1-0 to Lily Valamont. Valamont, her first time up, tried to lay down a bunt for a sacrifice. It ended up being a fielder's choice, 5-4, and she had a single in the infield her last time up. The 1-0 pitch to her misses inside, 2-0. Puts it second, Stevenson at first for Michigan. Grine checks her wristband. Right foot third base side of the rubber. Hands at her belt and deals a 2-0 pitch to Valamont and fires a strike in on the outside half, 2-1.
Great comeback pitch from Grine, just nabbed the outside part of the plate.
Grine is set. Here's the 2-1 to Valamont. She cuts and skies this foul high into the sky. Third base side out of play.
Got good barrel to it, just a tad early out of play. Valamont seems to be getting a good read on Grine so far in this at-bat.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 gone. Grine rocks and delivers and bounces one low in the dirt. Good block behind the dish from Emma Cox. Valamont works it full, 3-2. Grine, here she comes. She flings a payoff pitch. Valamont hits it on the ground through the 6 hole. Thole puts a stop sign up at third for puts. Valamont pulled it between Flannery and Sinicki. The bases are loaded with 1 gone for the Wolverines. They'll send Ellie Sealer to the dish.
Again, another great piece of hitting from the heart of this order. Stevenson right up the middle to advance the runners, score Langford. Valamont there to load the bases. Yet another bases loaded opportunity for Michigan. Still 1 away here.
Michigan will send out a pinch runner for Stevenson at second. in the form of CeCe Thorrington. The speedster freshman is there with 1 out, and Michigan, the Wolverines know this is a big spot, a chance to score a couple because Stevenson's not exactly your slowest runner. Thorrington does give you the extra boost, but you're going to hear her early here. And
right, but that just increases your odds there of notching 2 on anything in the outfield. If Zed's Coach Thole really aggressive in sending runners from second to home, that just increases your odds, makes that all the more favorable. When you know you need every run you can get, knowing how some of these games between Michigan and Oregon have gone, at least how they went in the series in Eugene in early April, with Michigan commanding a lead in the bottom of the 7th and blew that one. You have to take every chance you can get here. And with a 3-0 lead, the chances look good, but it's still not over yet.
And I didn't mean to say early. It's not early in this game. I more so meant that Stevenson's not exactly a slow runner. She's not someone you usually see a pinch runner for, but this is the kind of spot where you need Thorrington.
Right, and that's what I was saying with Coach Thole being really aggressive and sending runners from second to home. That increases your odds, makes that a little bit more favorable on your end.
And a pitching change will come here for the Oregon Ducks. The southpaw, Stacy Chambers.
Number 9, Stacy
Chambers getting loose, southpaw. 4.87 ERA this year and just 18 2/3 of work. Last bunch of years were spent at Cal State Fullerton. Last year was all Big West first team, had a fabulous year, 2.07 ERA, but hasn't pitched a ton for the Ducks. Comes in here with the bases juiced. But Ducks go to a lefty against a left-handed hitter in Ellie Sealer.
And that's huge to get Lindsey Grind out of this game. Has shown in this game at least at some points, got herself into jams and was able to get out of it. You get her out of this game, at least for now. You hand it over to Stacy Chalmers, who was really good, as you said, at Cal State Fullerton, 17-6 record. 144 strikeouts, 216 batting average against, is the primary relief option for this Duck pitching staff. Had 3 strikeouts over 2 separate appearances at Indiana a couple weeks ago. But again, in a huge spot, bases loaded here, 1 down. In a winner-go-home style, this is really important for Michigan to tack on some insurance runs and make Aaron Haynes' life in the circle easier.
So the bases are loaded for Ellie Sealer. It's 3-0 Michigan. 1 across already in the frame. It's the top of the 5th inning. The bases are loaded. Stacy Chambers comes in out of the pen. Ellie Sealer is at the dish, puts it third. The pinch runner Thorrington at second. Valamont at first. Infield well in for the Ducks. They want the force at home. Chambers, the southpaw, deals. Sealer takes a big cut and is behind. Pitch number 1, 0-1 on Sealer.
She wanted to extend this lead by 4 runs off that one swing there. Again, as you said, behind the fastball off the hand of Chambers.
Southpaw rocks once more. Sealer hits a high fly ball to right field. Patman moves back a few steps. She'll fire it into the plate. It will go all the way there, but Putz is there easily with a slide. Sacrifice fly from Ellie Sealer does the job. 4-0 Michigan here in the top of the 5th inning.
And that works to perfection. I know Ellie Sealer stepping in the box, wanting to do some more damage, extend this Michigan lead a little more, but it's those incremental changes that do it. Just makes a little more damage here and there, extend the lead, 4-0. You still have Maddie Erickson with runners at the corners here.
On the corners, 2 gone. First pitch to Erickson is down and away for a ball. And for Sealer there, you think situational hitting. You want to hit the ball in the air. Did just that, able to drive in the run. Chambers comes set on her left hip. And Roxon deals an 0-1. Erickson shoots it the other way into right field. Thorrington claps as she comes across home plate. Erickson turns one around the other way. Another across. It is 5-0 Michigan here in the top of the 5th.
And they're all over Stacy Chambers. 2 straight hard hits that score the runners in third. First time in puts, then Thorrington to follow. Now runners at first and second. Michigan tacks on a 5-run lead in the 5th here.
That'll bring up Maddie Ramey with 2 on and 2 gone. Top of the 5th inning, 3 across in the frame now for Michigan. Chambers deals. Ramey showed bunt, pulled it back. It's 1-0. That might bring the third baseman Flannery in just a bit. With 2 outs, Ramey Obviously bunting for a base hit here. Ramey yet to have a knock in this event. She's 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. The 1-0 pitch is a rise ball, swung on and missed.
Half-hearted swing from Ramey. Wanted that pitch way upstairs, nearly at the head level, knew it. As soon as she broke the plane to the plate, couldn't pull back in time.
Chambers is set, deals a 1-1. Ramey rips it foul down the first base line. Pulled it foul by about 10 feet or so. Didn't miss it by a whole lot. 1-2 now on Ramey.
No, certainly not. Almost timed that one up. Barreled it very well down the line. That would have certainly been extra bases. Had an opportunity to score 1, if not 2.
Ramey awaits, down 1-2 with 2 on and 2 gone. 5-0 Michigan, top of the 5th. Here's the pitch from Chambers, and Ramey got a piece of it to scratch it back off the net and stay alive in a 1-2 count. Falamon at second, Erickson at first, and 2 gone for Ramey. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chambers deals, and she got her swinging with a changeup. Ramey down swinging. Michigan plates 3 in the top of the 5th inning. It is 5-0 Michigan. Way out of the bottom of the 5th, and the Oregon Ducks need some runs here. 3 more frames to go for them at the dish.
Yeah, they got their work cut out. 8-9-1 due up for Oregon. The lineup will flip over, guaranteed. Aaron Hain will trot out in the circle, but look, for Michigan's offense, with those opportunities, you need to take every chance you have, and they certainly did as the 5th inning stretch begins here in West Lafayette, with Michigan commanding a sizable lead now, 5-0, off a heroic 3-run 5th inning. And that's all you can ask. With those opportunities coming to pass, those don't come often with how deep this pitching staff is, with how good Lindsey Grind has been. But as you said, over the last couple of weeks, has had a slight slippage in how effective she has been in the circle. It showed there. And Michigan has capitalized here in this Big Ten quarterfinal round.
For Michigan, re-entering in right field, 25, Ellis Stevenson.
Ella Stevenson re-enters for CeCe Thorington to play right field. 5-0 Michigan, bottom of the 5th coming up here in West Lafayette. And look, this game far from over. 9 outs to play with for Oregon. This lineup is so good.
Right.
Michigan has Aaron Hain in the circle for now. She came in last inning, got all 3 outs.
But now she comes in a really comfortable spot, as comfortable as you can be with how good this Oregon lineup is, and that they can just snap right into action at any second. But a little more comfortable with 5 insurance runs here in the bottom of the order before the lineup flips over. These are 2 outs you need to get here.
And Hain last inning came in after Derkowski gave up a leadoff single, got a line-out double play to first base to Ramey, who stepped on the bag, then got a deep fly out that was nearly a homer off the bat of Des Patman. Kaylin Jones, the 8-hitter, will lead off here. First pitch to her is slapped up the middle. Langford ranges over to her right, fires across her body, not in time. Tough throw for Langford on the move. Jones able to beat it out. Leadoff hitter aboard for the Ducks.
Indeed, it was a really tough throw. She was moving away from the base. The exchange was a little unclean from the glove to her throwing hand there. The leadoff base runner on for the Ducks here off the high chopper.
Katie Flannery now had a walker first time up against Derkowski. Hain now in there, deals her ball 1 up and away. One 1-0 to Flannery, runner at first for the Ducks. Here's the pitch from Hain, well upstairs. 2-0 now to the 9-hitter Flannery. Hain goes back to her rosin bag, now drops it and looks into the Michigan dugout at Jen Brundage for the sign. She's set third base side, 2-0 pitch is grounded to third. Erickson scoops it up, throw to second. Langford doesn't have time to turn it to first. But a 5-4 fielder's choice, chopped down the lead runner in Jones.
And certainly the smart play there. Jones, speedster, get her off of scoring position there, prevent the Ducks from being in scoring position in the first place. But you get Jones out there, who's a speedster, 16 for 17 on stolen bases, just a testament to her speed. And that's a smart play and a great play at the hot corner as you move to her left to get it off the chopper there.
First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Kai Lushar, is a strike. Lushar went through with a bunt attempt. 0-1 to the speedster at the top of the Oregon order. Infield single and a fielder's choice ground out for her today. She takes the ball down and away, 1-1. Hain is set, deals a 1-1. Lushar slaps this down the left field line into the outfield. Sealer right there to cut it off in shallow grounds, but a single on a line off the bat of Lushar puts 2 on for the Oregon Ducks with 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And due to the shift that Erickson was playing there, played way up. If she played a normal position, she would have gotten to that one on the drive. Unfortunately, Sealer playing really shallow in left field was able to get to that one quickly.
Paige Sinicki now. First pitch to her to Hain. She lays a bunt down. Foul behind home plate. 0-1 to Sinicki. She tried to let on a bunt her first time up. There was a pop-up to Valamont, then was hit by a pitch in her 2-strike count her last time up. 0-1 from Hain is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Sinicki. Flannery at second. Kai Lushar at first. 2 on for the Ducks with 1 out, down 5-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Erin Hain on the rubber for Michigan. Rocks and fires. This ball is lifted high and deep to center field. Conway hauls it in at the warning track and will bring it back to the cutoff shortstop Fantucci. Back to second goes Flannery. Is not able to advance to third. Another well-struck ball off the bat of a Duck, but no damage done, 2 away.
And that certainly had enough juice on it in center field, about a step shy of the warning track to advance the runner from second to third in Flannery, but kind of hesitated at first there. So could not advance, couldn't get back to the bag in time to tag up. So good break now with 2 down.
Jen Brundage out of the Michigan dugout, longtime assistant, current associate head coach. Out to talk things over with Hain and Valamont. With 2 on and 2 gone, in the dangerous freshman Riley McCoy coming to the dish for Oregon.
For Oregon, first baseman 24, Riley
McCoy 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. First pitch to her from Hain is a strike, pumped in there.
Great job from Erin Hain to just attack McCoy, knowing the damage she can make. We've already talked about it ad nauseum so far, but to go first pitch attacking on the outside part of the plate is phenomenal for Erin Hain.
0-1 is up and in. McCoy leans out of the way. 1-1 to her now. Flannery at second for the Ducks. Kai Lushar behind her at first. Runs very well. 2 gone here, bottom of the 5th inning. 5-0. Michigan leads. Erin Hain wants to keep the score right there and deals a 1-1 and gets a swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. Erin Hain goes back to the rosin bag in her right hand, drops it, wipes her hand off on her right pant leg, comes set at her belt buckle, rocks and deals a 1-2. She got her swinging. Hain strands a pair of Oregon Ducks on the base paths and keeps it right where it is. 5-0 Michigan. We head to the 6th here in West Lafayette.
And for Oregon, as I've said for Michigan, those scoring opportunities, you have to take them when you have them. With time running out for both sides for Michigan to extend the lead, for Oregon to come back into this game, Oregon has to come back and capitalize on that. And for one side, for Michigan, they have capitalized on it. While for Oregon, so far they haven't. Still 2 more innings of work for Oregon to cut down the lead. But for Erin Hain, how about it? Being really aggressive, attacking these hitters, especially with McCoy, the damage she can make with her power. Hain still goes at her and comes in out of the bullpen and has done some phenomenal work in relief for Derkowski. And so far, Alex, what a game. What a game.
It's been fun so far. It's been all Michigan, 5-0. Wolverines have 5 runs on 10 hits. 5 hits for the Ducks and nothing scratched across on the combination of Derkowski and Hain.
In 9-1-2, the lineup flips over here. It seems like Stacey Chalmers has been a much better matchup for this Michigan offense. They've been attacking much more and a lot more solid hits. They've been barreling up on her. So we'll see if Michigan can capitalize. And again, with this Oregon lineup, how deep it is, a lot of over 400s, a lot of into the deep 300s. This lineup can spark at any time, and who knows, this game could be a lot closer than it is in the 6th and the 7th. But you know, with Stacey Chalmers and how they've been barreling up against her, you need to capitalize and just make it a lot more comfortable for Erin Hain in the circle here. Are you making faces at camera?
I always make faces at the camera.
I know you do.
But really, seriously, thank you all so much for listening and for joining us here on WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan. Alex Miller, TJ Fossmeyer, pleasure to be with you for this whole event. And Michigan up 5-0 as we head to the 6th inning here in West Lafayette.
Been a blast of a tournament so far. Made the 4.5 hour drive yesterday well worth it.
9-1-2 for Michigan. Fantucci, Langford, and Conway against Stacey Chambers to open the 6th inning. Chambers rocks, the southpaw deals, and misses outside. Close miss, but Fantucci lays off for ball 1.
Great eye from Fantucci. Just tried to paint the lower corner, the outside part of the plate. Could not get the call from home plate umpire Ron Burkhart there. But great eye from Fantucci nonetheless.
1-0 is down and away, and a strike to Fantucci. Went around in a half swing there. 1 ball and 1 strike. A double and a strikeout today for Fantucci. First chance to see Stacey Chambers. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fantucci fouls it off first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Michigan shortstop. Chambers is set. Here comes her 1-2, and it's a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, down and away. Throw down to first from Cox. Strikes out Fantucci, who swung at a pitch well away in the dirt.
44, second baseman.
Lineup turns over. You might hear the Indiana Jones theme. Indiana Langford digs in for Michigan. With 1 away, 5-0 Michigan, top of the 6th inning, nobody aboard. All 4 infielders well in against the Michigan slap hitter. Chambers deals. Langford showed bunt, pulled it back, pitch above the zone for ball 1. Langford taps the plate once, twirls the bat up on her shoulder, now raises her hands at around helmet high. The southpaw Chambers is set, rocks and deals a 1-0 and pumps it in there inside half. 1-1 to Langford. Here's a 1-1. That is up and away. Close pitch. 2-1 to Langford. Strikeout looking. Infield single and a walk for Indy Langford today. Chambers comes set on her left hip. Now rocks and deals. 2-1 is dropped in on the inside half. Good pitch there from Chambers. 2-2. Here's the delivery. Langford slaps it away. Third base side out of play. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Indiana Langford. Langford back in the box. Chambers takes her time. Now is back on the rubber. First base side is the southpaw. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Chambers unleashes to Langford, and she is punched out on a pitch on the inside edge. Chambers paints the black, strikes out Langford looking. 2 down here in the 6th.
That's really good location from Chambers, right on the inside black, as you said, Alex, and throws Indiana Langford. That's quickly 2 down, but again, big bat Janisa Conway here. You never know what could start with her leading a rally here.
2 gone, nobody aboard for Conway. First 2 hitters of the inning retired on strikes. First pitch to Conway is ripped on a line down the right field line, and it is fair, and it'll drop. A 2-out single on the first pitch for Janisa Conway.
Great piece of 2-out hitting there to just poke that one down the right field line there. First pitch swinging, and if you swing hard, usually good things happen, as you say, Alex, and you never know with a rally here with 1 on, 2 down here.
Lauren Putz digs in. Runner at first is Conway. First pitch to Putz. She swings on it and loops it into shallow right center. Kaylin Jones retreats and makes a fabulous catch over the shoulder to retire Lauren Putz and close out the frame. Michigan sends 4 to the plate. Does no damage. It's still 5-0 Michigan. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning here in the quarterfinal round of the Big Ten tournament.
Great play from Kaylin Jones there. I thought that just had enough there to clear her at second, find some free real estate in the right center gap to just advance Conway to second, puts on first, and start a rally here for Michigan to potentially tack on some even more insurance runs here. But great catch for Jones, which is a great break for the Ducks here as they have a team meeting right in front of the dugout entrance here, and they got their work cut out here. Aaron Hayne in the circle, down 5 with 2 more chances here to claw back this deficit.
7th-year head coach Melissa Lombardi in the center of this Oregon huddle on the third base side. Lombardi and the Ducks have made 4 straight NCAA tournaments. Lombardi, before coming to Oregon, spent 21 years as an assistant at Oklahoma to Patty Gasso, her final 11 there as the associate head coach. Doesn't get much better than that program over there.
Certainly not. It has translated that success to Oregon. Again, this season, 47-6. Currently hold a run differential that leads the NCAA plus 303, and they're the only team in the NCAA top 10 in scoring, ERA, and fielding. They're great, top 10 in the nation, and what really matters. And again, they're 4th ranked in the country for a reason, receiving first place votes for a reason.
Taking over at second base for Michigan, number 14.
Janella Lacqua will come in and play second defensively for Michigan in the place of Indiana Langford. Common substitution for this Wolverine defense late here in this one. It's 5-0 Michigan. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up here, and it's 4, 5, and 6, and it starts with Kedri Lushar, who's very dangerous. Emma Cox, Stephanie Maake behind her. First pitch to Lushar, she squares around, pops a bunt foul off the netting behind home plate. Lushar 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and an infield pop. Lushar in the left-hander batter's box. Pitch from Hayne is a ball upstairs. Lushar once again showed bunt, pulled it back. Make it 1 ball and 1 strike on number 1 of the Ducks. Lushar digs back in. Has had a fabulous breakout season, a .461 average. Lays out a bunt once again. Pops it up. Maddie Erickson lays out down the third base line in foul grounds and just snared one.
Wow, what a play from Maddie Erickson at the hot corner. Came charging in to put a dive into it.
21, the catcher.
And you need breaks like that in defensive plays. Just, wow, what a play from Maddie Erickson. Huge first out here.
That'll bring up Emma Cox, who takes ball 1 up from Aaron Hayne. Erickson with a stellar play at third. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hayne rocks and deals a 1-0 that is in toward the knees of the right-handed hitter Cox. 2-0. Cox, a deep fly out to the wall and right, and a single to left. Her 2 chances at the dish. 2-0 from Hain is just below the zone. 3-0.
Great location there for Hain, an even better eye from Cox. She's shown a really good eye at the plate with both Derkowski and Hain throwing her pitches just along the black and has thought better of it.
Hain missed well outside for ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Emma Cox. She's aboard with 1 down. That'll bring up Stephanie Maake for Oregon.
13, the designated player, Stephanie Maake.
Maake today has a single, and then she lined out to Maddie Ramey in a double play. As a runner at first for her once again. As ball 1 is issued from Hain. Valamont quickly out of the crouch to keep an eye on Cox over at first. Swing and a miss there. 1-1.
Wanted to launch that rise ball out of the park into the tennis courts over about 500 feet, but could not connect.
Hain delivers a 1-1 pitch. Well upstairs. Valamont keeps an eye over on Cox at first.
And why not go back to the rise ball if you're Erin Hain? You had Maake swing way out of her shoes there at eye level on the rise ball on the previous pitch. Why not go back to that same pitch there? Maake thought better of it that time.
Jen Brundage out of the Michigan dugout to talk things over with Erin Hain. Runner at first in Cox. And 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stephanie Maake at the dish for Oregon. Erin Hain goes back to the rosin bag. Now drops it in his set, third base side of the rubber. Bends both knees. The first a pause comes from home plate umpire Ron Burkhart. Now he gives the point, and we're back. 2-1. Here's the pitch from Hain, and it misses just in. Erin Hain had her hands to her side. She wanted a justification, and she got a point toward that inside to Maake from home plate umpire Ron Burkhart. 3-1. Hain wanted the call there. Runner at first is Cox with 1 away. 3-1 pitch is fouled back off the net by Maake.
Boy, that last pitch looked good. I thought that was all over the plate from up here, but no dice from Ron Burkhart, as you said. Bit inside, in his opinion.
5-0 Michigan here. The bottom of the 6th inning. Runner at first for the Ducks. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch to Maake, and she swings and misses on a pitch inside. Valamont fired down to first, tried to backpick Cox. Nothing doing. But at the dish, Maake down on strikes to Hain. 2 gone.
Excellent rebound for Erin Hain. Did not let that pitch, where she thought was clearly in the zone from her perspective in the circle, was not going to let that get to her that time, and punched out Maake on 3 straight pitches swinging. Both of them off the rise ball there. Now 2 down, 1 on here for Oregon.
Re-entering for Oregon, now batting 28,
Des Patman back in there here for Oregon. She'll hit here with 2 outs and a runner at first in Cox. 5-0 Michigan, bottom of the 6th inning. Patman in the right-handed batter's box. Hain rocks and deals and misses below the knees for ball 1. Patman pop up in the infield and a fly out to left center today. Hain delivers a 1-0 pitch. This is skied into the right center field alley. Conway drifts over, calls for it, and hauls it in. 4 up, 3 down in the 6th for Oregon. We head to the 7th here in West Lafayette. 5-0, Michigan with the lead.
And Erin Hain out of the bullpen here continues what was rolling in Eugene. Rolls here in West Lafayette against the Ducks. Strands 1 and keep things at a 5-0 lead. And for the Ducks, time is running out here. Michigan has 1 more chance here in the 7th to tack on some more insurance runs, but now down 5. You have 1 more chance due up for Oregon. 8-9-1 in the bottom of the 7th. So time is running out for this Ducks squad here, and Michigan has prime chance here. 4, 5, 6, the heart of the order, to extend the lead here.
Stacey Chambers back in the circle for Oregon. Michigan with a 5-0 lead over the number 4 ranked team in the country as we head to the 7th inning. You're listening to WCBN Sports, the official student radio of the University of Michigan.
And coming up, Stevenson and Sealer, 4 and 6 hole hitters respectively, have driven in 2 of the 5 runs. So these two players, this part of the lineup has been pivotal in this 5-0 Michigan lead here. And that's where it has to start if Michigan wants to extend it here and make a comeback here for the Ducks. A lot more complicated, a lot more difficult here. But again, for Oregon's defense to play devil's advocate, weird things have happened in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan commanded a lead in the bottom of the 7th and blew it in Eugene. You never know. I mean, that's the glory of sports. You never know what happens, but Michigan here, a little comfortable here as we move into the last frame of the game.
Defensively for Oregon, now playing right field, number
Defensive
5,
change for Oregon, number 5, Elise Crescio will come in and play right field for Patman. So Crescio's out and right. Ellis Stevenson leads off against Stacey Chambers here in the top of the 7th. First pitch, Stevenson rolls an outside pitch to third. It's picked up by Flannery, and the throw to first is in time to cut Stevenson down by 2 strides. 1 away here, top of the 7th, 5-0 Michigan.
Number 20, the catcher, Lily.
That'll bring up Michigan's catcher, Lily Valamont. 2 for 3 day for her so far. Last 2 times up, she's had a single. Chambers, the southpaw, is set and unleashes and fills the zone. Strike 1, outside half, 0-1.
Valamont's put herself a really good day here. 2 for 3, 1 run. Has been the catalyst of multiple rallies here for Michigan.
Chambers, the 0-1 pitch, is up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lily Valamont. Infield, outfield, straight up for the Oregon Ducks against a right-handed hitter in Lily Valamont. Valamont cocks the purple barrel behind her helmet. Chambers is set. She deals a 1-1 pitch, and Valamont drives this deep to left. It'll push Luchar back a few steps. She'll haul it in front of the warning track. Valamont retired.
There's not enough mustard on that one to left field. Got a good barrel to that one. That's a high-flying second out here, but Ellie Sealer has been successful here. Look for some 2-out hitting. Potential start for a 2-out rally here to extend a 5-0 lead.
Ellie Sealer digs in with 2 gone and nobody aboard. Chambers first pitch to her. Sealer showed bunt, pulled it back. Pitch missed up for ball 1. 1-0 to Ellie Sealer. Last time up had a sacrifice fly. Otherwise 0 for 2 today. Chambers a 1-0. Sealer fouls it back. A little bit behind that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5-0 Michigan here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 gone on Sealer, nobody aboard. Stacey Chambers, veteran southpaw, is set. She rocks back and deals the 1-1. Sealer tried to lay a bunt down. It went well foul back to the netting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chambers comes set. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sealer. She hurls one home, and Sealer takes it just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maddie Erickson on deck for Michigan. Is 2 for 3 today if Sealer can reach. 2 gone here, top of the 7th. Michigan up 5-0. Chambers fires. Sealer slices an inside pitch up toward the circle. Chambers a few steps into her left. The pitcher helps herself out, works a 1-2-3 7th inning, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Michigan leads 5-0. Oregon has 3 outs to play with to cut back in, try to force extras or win it here in the bottom of the 7th, down 5-0.
A lot to play for here, and Oregon has had some history coming back, as we said before. Michigan commanded a 4-2 lead going into the bottom of the 7th and blew that one, but Michigan has a little more insurance with 5 runs, 8-9-1 due up for Oregon. You need to get this bottom part of the order out. You do not want the lineup to turn over into the heart of the 2-3-4. You do not want to see Sinicki, McCoy, or Kedri Lushar as well. You need to limit and cut that possibility even off by getting the 8 and 9 hole hitters out.
Erin Hain back in the circle. She has gotten 3 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, nothing across on Hain. 5-0. Your score here, bottom of the 7th inning. The Ducks send up 8-9-1. Kaylin Jones, Katie Flannery, Kai Lushar due up for Oregon. And to set the stage for you a little bit, this is the number 4 team in the country in the Ducks. Michigan so far this year is 0-12 against top 25 opponents, including getting swept by this Oregon team back in Eugene a few weeks ago. As we said earlier, those were a couple close games. There were a couple close games mixed in there. Michigan couldn't take any home, but again, 0-12 against the top 25. Chance to win one here and move on to the semifinals of this Big Ten tournament. 5-0 Michigan. Bottom of the 7th, Kaylin Jones. 1 for 2 today with a single, digs in. And the slap hitter takes strike 1 on the outside half from Erin Hain.
Marginal call there. Great job painting the outside part of the plate for Erin Hain. Again, these first pitch strikes, particularly against these 8-9 hole hitters, are so important.
Hain misses low there to make it 1-1 to Jones. Infield singler last time up. She can get down the line in a hurry. Corners pinched in a bit for Michigan. The 1-1 is well north of the zone. 2-1. And goes back to her rosin bag. Shades the sun from her eyes with her glove as she looks to the first base side dugout to Jen Brundage for the sign. Got a brief timeout from home plate umpire Ron Burkhart. Now she's set. 2-1. Here's the pitch to Jones, and she takes it outside corner for a strike. 2-2 to Kaylin Jones. Hain is set. She hurls the 2-2. She got her swinging. Jones goes down on strikes. There's one away here in the 7th.
That's huge. Her 3rd punch out. Again, you need to get this bottom half of the order here. 8 and 9 need to be retired. You cannot get deep as the lineup turns over if you get this 9-hole hitter on here.
Katie Flannery takes ball 1 upstairs from Erin Hain. Infield, outfield, straight up on the right-handed hitter in Flannery. The 9-hole hitter today has a walk and grounded into a 5-4 fielder's choice. Hain picked up her rosin bag, now drops it off behind her. Is set. Here's her 1-0. And she misses north of the zone once more, 2-0.
Good take from Flannery there. Not to bite on the rise ball there. Great location off the hand of Hain there.
Hain checks her wristband. She's set once more, third base side of the rubber, and deals the 2-0. A line drive shot at Fantucci. It's short. A step to her left, and she hauled it in. There are 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-0 Michigan. Oregon with 1 more out here in the frame.
Left fielder, 22,
And Fantucci's defensive ability cannot be talked about more. And shortstop, one of the hardest defensive positions in softball, makes it look so easy on the line with the sun in her eyes as well. Makes that play look easy.
The speedy Kai Lushar now digs in with 2 away. She squared around a bunt first pitch, pulled it back, and took a close one outside for ball 1. The Michigan infield well in. Corners especially. Erickson at 3rd, Ramey at 1st. Lushar today a pair of singles in the infield. 2 for 3. Hain is set and rocks and deals. A slap toward short. Fantucci corrals on a few hops. Fires to first just in time to cut down Lushar. The Wolverines win it A shutout between Derkowski and Hain pushes Michigan across 5-0. They knock off the number 4 team in the country to pick up their first ranked win of the season, and Michigan is on to the semifinals here in West Lafayette.
And I have the pleasure to say this one yet again, Alex. We got to find a hotel for tonight.
Oh,
wow.
boy.
And what a way to come up with that first elusive ranked win. 0 for 12 coming in. And, man, to advance into the semifinal with postseason hopes on the line for this Michigan squad, you come up in a huge way at the Big Ten Tournament quarterfinal round and take down not only the number 1 seeded Oregon Ducks, but the 4th nationally ranked team, hand them their only 7th loss on the season in a huge way here in West Lafayette when not many people expected it at all. Michigan comes up with a gritty win. Wow.
How about this? Wire-to-wire performance for Michigan. Derkowski and then Hain, stellar in the circle. The Bats played at 5. And the Ducks are shut out, and in their first game of this event, head home. Michigan will play tomorrow against the winner of the nightcap today. Either Ohio State, it would be a rematch after the Buckeyes swept Michigan earlier in the year, or the upset team, the host of this event, the Purdue Boilermakers.
All right, yeah, we got to whip out the broadcast cam for this one. And, geez, I mean, I'm speechless. I mean, taking down the number 4 team in the country to advance in the Big Ten semifinals, 2 straight years in a row for this. And now Michigan with 51 wins in this tournament. Oregon in their first appearance in the Big Ten moved over to the Pac-12. Some say not a real Big Ten team yet. They come to West Lafayette, the Midwest, real Big Ten country, and their first loss, 0-1 in the Big Ten tournament now, but this is a huge win for Michigan. Finally notch a ranked win, and so, I mean, I'm so happy for this team and this group of players as well. A lot on the line, and they did it despite the pressure.
Wolverines led Maize and Blue Faithful that have made their way to West Lafayette in a rendition of Hail to the Victors, circled up first base side. Erin Hain earns herself the interview post-game, but big-time win for Michigan, 5-0 over the number 4 team in the country. And this ride is not yet over. Last year's champions at this event are still on the board in the semifinals. Again, they'll get either Ohio State or they'll get Purdue tomorrow.
And Ohio State, that's going to be a matchup for sure to watch tonight. That'll be on Big Ten Network. We'll have coverage for tomorrow's game. Rather you tune in to WCBN Sports' coverage of that game. But this should be a fun one, regardless if it's Ohio State or the hosting Purdue Boilermakers. A chance to go to the final, for a chance for the auto bid and strengthen Michigan's resume. But this is a huge resume booster here. Get that elusive win against not only a ranked team, but the 4th best team in the country according to the polls. And again, a huge win. Wow, stunned.
Tomorrow, Michigan will play at 7:30 p.m. against the winner of this following one, Purdue, Ohio State. But, TJ, for this game, 5-0 Michigan, what were the standout moments for you? How did Michigan get this one done today?
And as we've said, we've talked about it off the broadcast, this team's success is really up to what Lauren Derkowski can do in the circle. And, to start this game, she did phenomenally well, shutting down what is a really deep Oregon Duck lineup. And, we initially questioned it. Erin Hain coming into the game, but she carried that mantle. What Derkowski did in the circle, Erin Hain matched and was able to shut down this lineup and put a shutout, put a huge goose egg on what has been a potent Oregon lineup all season long when it all matters. And I believe it really has just been the pitching, and Michigan has kind of struggled on the offensive end to capitalize. They've been really good on getting on base, but capitalize on their scoring opportunities, and they did so here. So just the stars aligned here, and good things happen when that occurs, and they did it on the grandest of stages so far with a spot in the Big Ten semifinal on the line.
Michigan today scored a run in the second on an RBI double by Maddie Erickson. They added one in the third on an RBI single by Janisa Conway, and then they played at 3 in a big 5th inning Stevenson had an RBI with a single, sacrifice fly from Sealer, an RBI knock from Maddie Erickson. There's your 5. And the shutout the other way, Derkowski with 3 innings of work, 3 hits, 1 walk, a strikeout, nothing across. Hain, the final 4, 2 hits, a walk, 3 Ks, nothing across. 5-0 Michigan, your final. TJ, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up for the evening?
I mean, I'm just stunned. So happy for this team. Hearing that, getting over the bump against, ranked opponents, it's been a huge. I'm sure it's been looming on the mind of this team, and finally get over that hump, finally get that first win in a huge way when it all matters. They did it in such an efficient fashion, in such a dominating fashion. They really planted the flag here in West Lafayette against this squad and never looked back throughout this whole game. So it was just not only the fact that they came over the hump and beat the Oregon Ducks, but the way they did it and the systematic just beat down 5-0 shutout. It has been really impressive to see, and that blows me away, and I'm stoked for tomorrow.
Once again, your final score, 5-0. Michigan picks up their first ranked win of the season and moves on to the semifinals. That'll do it. For my partner, TJ Fossmeyer, I'm Alex Miller. Thanks for joining us on WCBN Sports. And as always, it is my pleasure to leave you, as we always do, with a good night and a Go Blue. See you tomorrow, folks, 7:30 p.m. right back here on WCBN.